Hello, everyone. Welcome to an early morning episode of Tailgate Talk. We're your hosts, David and Nick. Nick, say hi to the people.
Howdy.
Also joined by our good friend Joe, who's woken up from the dead. Joe, say hi to the people.
Yeah, early is an understatement there, my friend.
For reference, it's currently 9:47 in the morning, so that's early for Joe.
I,
So with
I,
that, we're gonna just go ahead and get Joe back to sleep. Um, so let me see if I can get everything so I can see everything. Okay, here we go. You guys able to see my cool graphic? Because now my thing's being all weird. Okay, there we
yeah,
go.
no,
I can
we
see
can
it.
see.
All right, first up, first game of the day. We've got Syracuse, Minnesota today at 2 p.m. in some bowl. I forget which bowl it is. It's the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl. Looks like we've all got Minnesota. Nick, you want to talk about them for a little bit?
Yeah, this is mainly just a fading Syracuse pick. I don't think they've been the same since they lost to Clemson. Um, so Minnesota's, I mean, they were ranked at one point in the year as well. I just, I just think the Gophers are gonna pull this one out.
Yeah, on that same token for me, listen, PJ Fleck is a known commodity. I don't know who coaches Syracuse. Uh,
Dino,
Syracuse Syracuse has been broken since the Clemson game. A lot of people had Minnesota earlier in the year to win the Big Ten West. They didn't wind up doing that, but obviously everyone thought they were a good enough team to do that. So if they're a good enough team to do that, they're a good enough team to beat Syracuse.
Yep. Row the boat, PJ Fleck all day long here. Like everyone's been saying, Dino and Syracuse really fallen off since losing to Clemson. I think they've lost since then, what, five of their last, they've lost five of their last six, I think.
I
I'm
think
not
that's
sure
right.
they've gotten to so yeah, they're just reeling right now, going with go Gophers. Oklahoma, Florida State. Looks like we're real confident on the Knowles. Nick, you want to speak to that?
Yeah, I mean, I this it's the cheese. It's not the Cheez It Bowl. It is a Cheez It Bowl.
It's a
Um,
feasible.
Normally the Big 12 sends like, I mean, Iowa State last year was, I think they were a 9-3 team or they were an 8-4. Oklahoma 6-6. So it feels like the Big 12 sent the big name instead of a record wise team. I think Florida State's leaps and bounds ahead of Oklahoma, especially this year. So give me Florida State. I'm really confident. It's my most confident pick. I just think that Norvell's got them trending in the right direction. They honestly could have had 11, 12 wins this year. In half a mile. So give me the Knowles. I-495 south,
Yeah,
I-95 south.
same thing for me. Listen, this Florida State team has a lot of returners next year. They're going to be a top 8 team in the country to start in the preseason rankings, which is, I mean, preseason rankings, whether you care about them or not, whether you think they're right or wrong, that says something to me. Jordan Travis is really coming into his own. He's really grown from the player he first was at Florida State. Um, that being said, I took Florida State, but I also kind of like OU is a dark horse in this game. I know OU has had a terrible year, but Brett Venables is desperate. The fan base is turning on their own, I feel like. So if he's going to win a game and shock the world, it's going to be this one. But I mean, everything points to Florida State, so I had to take Florida State, and I took them pretty confidently. I'm just saying that there is that slight chance that OU could maybe pull something out here. I would not be super shocked.
Yeah, Mike Norvell's got this team going in the right direction for Florida State. They've been hot since their gauntlet run between NC State, Wake Forest, and Clemson when everyone was healthy and playing on all cylinders against them. So Florida State, I think, is going to be a really tough out next year in the ACC. I think they're going to continue at today, and I think they're gonna win handedly. Texas, Washington in the let me check which bowl this one is. I scroll on my phone all the way down. In the VRBO, yes, no, that's the wrong one. In where is that one at? That one's tonight too. Oh yeah, in the Alamo Bowl, the Valero Alamo Bowl. Nick, who you got here?
This one I could have gone either way. I just feel like I have more confidence in Washington putting a complete game together over Texas. That being said, I wouldn't be surprised if Texas does pull this one out. But give me the Huskies. I think they had a great year in the Pac-12. Penix is coming back next year. I think they could be a dark horse for that conference. So give me Washington.
Yeah, same token for me. Listen, I was talking to Nick yesterday when I was making my picks. Um, Quinn Ewers has thrown, I think, like 34 passes in the last 2 games and completed 17 of them. That's just not enough for a guy who we thought was supposed to be the guy, right? The guy who was a 5-star, the guy who was supposed to win the Ohio State job and didn't, the guy who was supposed to come into Texas and make sure that they were back. Texas is not back. Michael Penix has been revived by his old coach who went over with him. Give me Washington here. They have a great passing offense. They have a great offense in general. And I think that they're just going to steamroll the Longhorns, horns down.
Yeah, Washington just coming off a little bit hotter, I think, than Texas. Um, so that's just kind of where my gut's going here as well. Maryland, NC State in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Someone's getting doused with mayo after this game. Nick, who do you think it's going to be?
Yeah, NC State's fought through a lot of adversity this year. I think they're a better team because of it. Uh, they, I know it's not looking as impressive now that UNC lost again last night, but you're coming off an emotional victory in the rivalry game. So give me the Wolfpack. I just don't think Maryland's that. I mean, they're good, but I don't think that they're good enough with this team or to match up with this Wolfpack team. So give me NC State.
Yeah, NC State has had ups and downs, but good team, good ACC team. Feel like they were a victim of of injuries, of their own injuries. Maryland hasn't really shown us anything. I mean, like I was telling Nick yesterday, I watched them play Ohio State, and the only reason they were in that game was because Ohio State sleepwalks through every first half that they play. And that's not a medal on how good Maryland is. That's a knock on Ohio State and how they can't play a first half. So I don't think this game is going to be close. Pretty confident on NC State here.
Yeah, I think the Wolfpack have definitely fought through a ton of adversity. I think that they've got a lot to play for here when it comes to pride and everything else. So especially with how they didn't get to play their bowl game last year to go to 10 wins. They're going to do a lot of young guys. A lot of young guys are going to be playing today for it tomorrow for NC State. They've got a bunch of guys that transferred out or opted out, and so it'll be kind of your first look, I think, at the potential for who could be the one to really drive this team forward next year. So I'm a little
Also,
less confident in some of the other games, but I'm going to roll with the Wolfpack here.
also Duke's mayo, best mayo on earth. Cut the check, Dukes.
Oh yeah. Next up, we've got Pitt and UCLA in the Sony the Tiger Sun Bowl. Guys, these bowl picks are getting kind of boring here. We got all UCLA. What's going on with that?
I just think DTR is electric. I think he'll probably be the best player on the field. I don't know. Is he playing? Before I start saying all that, is he playing?
ECR?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Okay. Well, if he's playing, that all stands. If he's not, I just think that UCLA is more deep than Pitt. So give me the Bruins.
Yeah, Bruins talented team. Pitt not so talented. I don't think Keaton Silvas is playing. He's their best player on the field on every Saturday or Friday that they play. So give me UCLA here. Chip Kelly has been through this before. He's actually been to a playoff game. I don't think Pitt's coach is even knows what day it is. So give me UCLA here.
Yeah. I'm definitely not the biggest fan of Narduzzi. He's a good coach, but just some of his comments towards Clemson I haven't enjoyed as much. Uh, but I think UCLA is the better team. I think that they've got better athletes. and I just don't think that Pitt's defense been the same that it's been in previous years. So give me the Bruins. Next up, we've got Notre Dame and South Carolina in the Gator Bowl. Nick, you're not so confident on the Irish. What's up with that?
No, I actually I'm a Clemson guy through and through. This one I almost picked South Carolina. They back-to-back games. They've beaten Tennessee and Clemson. I watched it happen right in front of me. Uh, they're I hate to say it, they're a good team, and I saw the news that Notre Dame, a lot of their skill players are transferring. So I was very, very close to picking South Carolina, but I just, in good faith, I could not. It hurt too much. So I made this one less confidence point. I picked Notre Dame. I still think Notre Dame could win. And next year they're going to be really good with Sam Hartman transferring in. Probably, I don't know if it's official that he's going there yet, but this one hurt. So I'm going with the Irish. I want the Irish to win, but I'm not confident.
Don't worry, we're not going to let you down. Listen, I say it at the end of every podcast, go Irish. I have to go with my team, even if, I don't think that it's all them 110%. This game is a toss-up. It's really 50-50. But give me the Irish here. Their coach is trending in the right direction. Their team is trending in the right direction. South Carolina is too. But I don't know. Just give me the bigger program. Give me the bigger name here. And give me my team. Go Irish.
South Carolina has had a lot of guys that also entered into the transfer portal or declared for the draft. So both these teams have been hit by those opt outs. The one thing that I haven't seen is I don't think I've seen anything about Notre Dame's offensive line opting out or transferring out, and those guys are some hogs. They that's one thing that I think we noticed in the Clemson South Carolina game is that Clemson was able to run the ball on South Carolina at will. I think that Notre Dame is going to be able to do something similar to that. And I think Notre Dame's defense is much improved. And the best thing going for Notre Dame right now is they don't have Chip Kelly on their or Brian Kelly on their coaching staff anymore. So he's not going to joke on their bowl game. So give me the Irish. 42 confidence points. Let's go. Beat down the Gamecocks. I need that. I need a little bit of joy in my life right here, please.
Talk me off the ledge. I'm scared.
Next up, we've got Ohio and Wyoming in the Arizona Bowl. Nick, not confident at all.
I don't know these teams, so I don't know. I went with the favorite. Give me Ohio.
Yeah, literally same thing for me. I think they were 94% on ESPN pick rating. So give me Ohio in this game. I don't know Ohio or Wyoming from a hole in the wall. So, give me Ohio here.
Big game for me to confidence points wise to take the lead back from Nick, especially because so far we have matched up perfectly with our pick right now. So I need some points from Ohio here.
You know what? Go Wyoming. Let's go
all
Cowboys.
I know is that all I know is that if that logo had a little Yellowstone Y on the side of it, it would be much, much different. All right.
Okay. What?
I need Wyoming in that one, really. Let's be honest here.
All right. Next up, what we've all been waiting to make the pick for, the Orange Bowl, Tennessee, Clemson, 8 p.m. Thursday night. Looks like we've all got the Tigers. Nick, how confident are you in this game?
I'm really confident. I think we'll know how this one's going to go based on the first offensive drive. Just see if we get the same Cade Klubnik that showed up in the ACC championship game, or if we see him struggle a little bit, then it opens the door for Tennessee. I think with Jalen Hyatt and I forget the other receiver's name opting out of this game, just makes it that much more in Clemson's favor. So I think it's a favorable matchup for the Tigers, and that's why I'm rolling with them.
Yeah, give me Clemson here. I mean, we all have, but I know I especially have been saying that if Kate Klubnik if Clemson wants to win, they have to put Kate Klubnik in right away. They cannot put him in halfway through the game. They have to give him a full game to do so. Obviously, he's a 5-star. That doesn't always turn out, but give me him. Give me Dabo. He's been in much bigger games than Tennessee. Uh, it's not a knock on Tennessee. Just give me Dabo. Give me Clemson. Go Tigers.
Out of the day that I've seen in the Orange Bowl presser so far, number of laughs slash smiles. We've got Dabo at 50 already, and Heupel only at 1. Big, big confidence boost there for me. Clemson's got my top picks here. They're my team. Always going to root for them all the way. I'm all in on them. I definitely think this game is going to be interesting. I think it's going to be back and forth at times. So I'm not, Tennessee's got an offense. They definitely have an offense that can score points, move the ball. So it's not going to be easy. But I think that when it's all said and done, I'm rolling with the Tigers on this one. Next up in the is this the Citrus Bowl they're in?
It's a
Sugar
sugar.
Bowl. Sugar Bowl. We've got
Yeah, sugar.
Alabama, Kansas State.
I was so close to going either way. Originally, I picked Kansas State. Then I heard that Will Anderson and Bryce Young were playing, and I kind of shifted my thinking. And I tried to have Joe talk me into Kansas State, but I can't shake this feeling. So give me Bama. I think they win. I think it'll be. I hope it's close, but I just have this feeling that Bama's going to win this one.
Listen, I'll tell you what I told Nick yesterday off the podcast. Um, this Alabama team is not the same Alabama team. They are not the big bad monster that comes out from underneath the bed and then everyone yells, "Oh my God, it's the boogeyman!" No, this is an Alabama team that has been penalized more than ever, or feels like it. It's a Alabama team that almost lost to a Texas team that ain't that great. It's an Alabama team that clamored to get into the playoffs based off Vegas odds and didn't belong. And this Kansas State team, I watched them beat TCU, who we all think is a a top 4 team in this country, whether you think they're going to beat Michigan or not. Will Howard is playing his best ball, coming from being a backup to now being a starter. His coach has the utmost confidence in him. You saw that in the post game presser that they had him on ESPN. Yeah, I know that they have a magician at quarterback on Alabama. I know Will Anderson is there, but Will Anderson is more of a name to me. He hasn't had the season that he's had the year prior. Deuce Vaughn, give me Deuce Vaughn, give me 30 carries, give me 150 yards and a touchdown or two. Give me Kansas State here. I think Kansas State is going to stick a fork in Alabama and call Alabama DED dead. So
Definitely see this game go that way if Kansas State can make it a fourth quarter game for sure.
And the transfers on Alabama. I mean, they lost most of their O-line in the transfer portal, so I doubt they're playing. And they lost most of their skill receivers and skill positions in the transfer portal too. So I think that's the other reason why I went with it. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yep, I can definitely see it happening. The thing is, I've got a friend who's a big Bama fan. He makes really good chicken and dumplings. So to stay on his good side, I'm going to pick Bama in this game.
Hey, enjoy
Next
those
up,
chicken and dumplings when they're taking a hard L from Kansas State.
that's okay. I'm not competing against you for this dub for the season. It's Nick and Nick gets hurt more by their loss than I do, so I'm good with it. Next up, we've got Iowa, Kentucky in the Music City Bowl. Nick and Joe, you guys go with the Hawkeyes.
This is an ugly one. I originally was going to hammer Kentucky, but then I found out Will Levis is not playing. And without Will Levis, this Kentucky team is trash. So give me Iowa. I know they don't have any offense. I will hammer the under, but give me the Hawkeyes.
Yeah, Kind of same thing for me. I don't think Will Levis is a top 10 pick, but I mean that's a discussion for a different time. He's obviously, but he's the best player on their team. He's not playing, and so that gave me the sway towards Iowa. Iowa in their last 5 or 6 games, kind of trying to be more offensive, putting up more than like 7 points a game. So that's a plus. Give me Iowa here. Go Hawkeyes. I do not believe in this Kentucky team. This Kentucky team has been, is, and always will be fraudulent.
Yeah, the thing is that Iowa's been that bad this year in my eye with zero offense that I think that Kentucky's going to be able to get just enough points. I think they've got a good enough defense to just really prevent Iowa from doing anything. I'm definitely not nearly as confident as some other picks, though. So I'm okay only putting up 31 points here and just hope for the best. But we'll see. This is definitely a season where I think that we're seeing that the SEC is looking more and more down than I think it's ever been. They're what have they won a bowl game yet? I don't think they have.
Yeah, Arkansas beat Kansas.
Arkansas did beat Kansas last night in a thriller. But that's it. That's the only. I mean, it's insane how you've got these the narrative that it just means more in that conference, but when it comes to bowl games, it apparently doesn't, unless they're playing for a championship. So we'll see. Next up, we got the playoff games. TCU, Michigan, in the Fiesta Bowl. Looks like we're all riding with the Wolverines, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll go first here. I wanted to pick TCU. I still think TCU has more of a chance than any other underdog in these picks that we're making here this morning. But with that being said, Michigan's just the better team here. So I hope that it doesn't go this way. I hope for the upset. I don't care about the confidence points. I don't care about the pick. I hope TCU wins, but in my heart of hearts, I think Michigan's going to win it. So go ahead, Nick.
yeah, I agree. I think that you look at the one game that TCU lost to Kansas State, the team that Michigan most relates to on TCU's schedule is Kansas State, and they're better than Kansas State. Just talking about that defense. I wish TCU will win. I think that'd be fun to have them win it all. But my brain is telling me the Wolverines are they're gonna shut Max Duggan down. They're gonna run it down TCU's defense. So I just give me Michigan.
Yeah, agree 100%. Hoping for TCU, but I'm thinking it's going to be Michigan as well. Ohio State and Georgia in the Peach Bowl. It's basically a backyard game for Georgia, but Ohio State fans travel. We've all got the dogs in this case. Do you guys want to talk about that at all?
Yeah, it doesn't matter that Ohio State fans travel well. Athens to Atlanta is like maybe 45 minutes. Most Georgia grads go to Atlanta after they graduate. It's going to be all Georgia. They don't lose. There are two teams that you don't want to play in specific locations. You don't want to play LSU and New Orleans, and you don't want to play Georgia and Atlanta.
Yeah.
Those are just two facts. And listen, Ohio State is not. They've kind of proven the one big game they had this year. They got blown out. I think they kind of backed their way in. I don't think that they're ready. And honestly, I think Georgia is the best team in the country. So I think Georgia takes care of business.
Listen, I know I said Alabama is not the boogeyman. Georgia is the boogeyman. They are coming for Ohio State. Ohio State doesn't deserve to be here. Ryan Day was born on third base, and honestly, they're gonna embarrass Ohio State here. They are in Atlanta, Georgia. We watched several weeks ago when they played a good Oregon team, not a great Oregon team, but a good Oregon team in Atlanta. They destroyed him. They're gonna embarrass Ryan Day. He's gonna go on the hot seat, and from there we'll see what happens. But Georgia is the boogeyman. Give me Georgia all day long here, and twice on Sundays. They are going to embarrass the snot out of Ohio State Buckeyes here.
Michigan State, Illinois in the the Relia Quest pool. We've all got the Bulldogs in this case too.
Mike Leach. That's all I got to say. They're going to play for him. No one outside the state of Illinois is rooting for Illinois in this game. I'm pretty sure half the state of Illinois is going to root for Mississippi State anyway. So give me Mississippi State.
Yeah, Illinois is the better team, but man, Mississippi has the factor, right? It has the it factor. They're wearing Mike Leach themed pirate uniforms. They're gonna, like Nick said, I can't say it any better myself. They're gonna play for Mike Leach here. Go get this one from Mike Leach. He deserves it. He's the only coach whoever said I'm gonna do things different. So props to him. They're gonna swing their effing sword here.
Yeah, it's just a tragedy. Seeing Mike Lee is passing so quickly, so suddenly. I 100% agree. This team said that he would have wanted them to play. They're going to play for him. I think that's going to carry them through. So give me the Bulldogs here, and rest in peace, Mike Lee. Next up, we've got Tulane and USC. This one is the Cotton Bowl Classic. So we've got the Green Wave against the Trojans. Nick, going with the Green Wave.
Yeah, again, it's one of those kind of always see an upset. I just can't get the image of USC's defense in the Pac-12 championship game out of my head. I think Tulane has a good offense so they can exploit that. If Caleb Williams' hamstring is healthy, that Caleb Williams is why my confidence points are so low. If he's healthy, then I think USC can win this game pretty easily. But I don't know. So I'm going to go with Tulane, but low confidence points. And hopefully I'm right, because that would really help me solidify my lead.
Yeah, whopping 3 points going to solidify your lead. And I mean, I can't really talk smack because I'm last in points here, but still, that's on my friend David's behalf. Okay. USC has a Heisman Trophy winner. Lincoln Riley brought that team back from irrelevance. Give me USC here. Give me USC all day.
I'm going to correct. Joe had Duke winning the UCF game, but he did not have that in ESPN, but he called it. We're going to correct his record right now. He's 11-15, not 10-16, and he's got 178 points. So just putting that on record there. But yeah, I'm going with the Trojans. I think if their defense creates turnovers, they'll be fine. If Caleb Williams plays well, they'll be fine. I just think that they're the better team in this case. But Tulane's going to come out swinging, so we'll see. Last two picks we've got LSU Purdue in the Citrus Bowl. Finally, maybe the meaning. I don't know. Yeah, Cheez-it Citrus Bowl. So, who you got here, Nick?
Purdue's not good. I mean, they're good, but their coach left. I think they were lucky to get into the Big Ten championship game. So give me LSU.
Yeah, LSU by a million here. Listen, everyone knows I'm not Brian Kelly's biggest fan, and everyone knows why, because he can't coach a bowl game or any large game against any big team. He often decides to choke in those games. But LSU, with that being said, has turned out to be one of the better teams this year. Listen, they beat Alabama. If they can beat Alabama, they can beat this Purdue team. So they always have a lot of talent. Every kid in Louisiana dreams of being an LSU Tiger. Go Tigers! But yeah, give me LSU here. It's an easy pick.
You let me down like crazy against Michigan in the conference championship weekend, so I'm going LSU here. Now, up, we got the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl between Penn State and Utah. Nick, how are you going to do this time?
I've been saying it since the beginning. Penn State is severely overrated, so give me Utah.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I definitely picked Utah. I will just inform those who are listening or watching. Listen, if anybody can do it, it's Penn State. Penn State's only 2 losses are to college football playoff teams. So I mean, take that for what it is. If you want another dark horse, I feel like Penn State's a great one to put in your parlay. But yeah, give me the Utes here. They're playing their best ball. Their defense looked great against USC. Run game looked phenomenal. They have that kid who is a running back that's like a sophomore or whatever. He's fantastic. His name is escaped me at the moment. They still have Cam Rising there. They still have some talented players on the outside. Give me the Utes all day. 2 Utes, 2 breakfasts, please.
Yeah, I'm rolling with the Utes in this case. They burned me enough times this year that I'm not going to do it again. Uh, that's it. That's what we got for picks. We are out of time because I refuse to pay for Zoom Premium. So as always, guys, go Tigers.
Go
Yeah,
Tigers.
go Irish.